If you're over 60 and worried about your heart health, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're diving straight into Dr. Mary O'Connor's biological approach to creating cleaner, calmer, and way more flexible arteries. And honestly, the best part? We are doing this without any trendy fads, confusing supplements, or those miserable juice cleanses that leave you starving by lunchtime. Instead, we're going to look at the exact science of how you can naturally support your cardiovascular system meal after meal.
To really wrap our heads around why this matters so much, let me tell you about Richard. Richard's a 71-year-old retired mechanic, and like a lot of folks, he's practical, proud, and thought he was doing everything exactly right. I mean, he walked every day, he ate what he considered healthy, turkey sandwiches for lunch, some cereal for breakfast, and he quit smoking a long time ago. But after his brother had a heart attack, Richard went in for a calcium scan. Well, the results absolutely terrified him. His arteries were carrying way more plaque than he ever expected, especially since he hadn't felt sick at all. He just looked at his doctor and asked the million-dollar question, if I've been trying this whole time, then what exactly am I supposed to eat?
And that right there brings us to a massive misconception we have about heart health. We tend to think of our arteries like plumbing, but as Dr. O'Connor points out, plaque is not toothpaste in a drain. This quote completely shatters the illusion that we can just drink some magical detox juice and scrub our arteries clean by the weekend. Plaque is a living, inflamed biological process. So to fix it, we literally have to change the internal chemistry of our bodies rather than just searching for a pipe brush.
So here's our roadmap to answering Richard's question. Number 1, the myth of quick fixes. 2, we'll meet the artery rescue bowl. 3, exactly how those ingredients work. 4, why biology matters way beyond just calories. And 5, building your daily habit.
Okay, Section 1, the myth of quick fixes. Let's look at marketing versus biology.
Look, when fear takes over, desperation kicks in, and it pushes people to go shopping for these single-product hacks. We see it all the time, right? People stockpiling garlic capsules, choking down vinegar shots, or doing extreme juice cleanses. But let's be real, these marketing hacks just don't work. True, solid arterial defense, that comes from repeating healthy biological patterns. A sugary juice spike, even if it's made of beets, is not going to save you. What actually saves you is a consistent pattern of fiber, healthy fats, and stable plant proteins. We really need to stop thinking like shoppers hunting for a miracle and start thinking like clinicians looking for a repeatable biological effect.
Moving right along, Section 2, meet the artery rescue bowl. Here is the formula.
Okay, grab a mental pen because I want you to memorize this incredibly simple formula. Greens, beans, intact grain, healthy fat, clean protein, and color. That's it. Repeating these specific elements gives you a meal that's genuinely satisfying, packed with flavor, and completely free of those destructive saturated fats that stiffen and inflame your cardiovascular system. Listen, this isn't about forcing down a sad, joyless side salad. It's about a robust, filling bowl that actively goes to work for your heart.
Which brings us to Section 3, how the ingredients work. We're talking targeted healing. Think of this as your medical cheat sheet. When you eat, say, 2 packed cups of leafy greens like arugula or spinach, the nitrates in them convert into nitric oxide. This directly helps your blood vessels relax and open up. Then you throw in your beans and intact grains, things like barley or steel-cut oats. They contain soluble fiber and beta-glucan, which literally act like a sponge in your digestive tract. They trap cholesterol, forcing your liver to pull more of that bad LDL out of your bloodstream. And what about that extra virgin olive oil? Well, it floods your system with polyphenols that reduce inflammatory stress. It's like having a highly trained medical team working inside you all at the same time. Now, what does all this actually do? The crucial takeaway here is that these specific foods do targeted work on your endothelium. That's the super delicate inner lining of your arteries. And here's the scary part. It gets damaged years, sometimes decades, before seniors ever feel a single symptom like chest pressure or shortness of breath. By eating foods that generate nitric oxide and lower inflammatory stress, you are directly supporting and healing the absolute foundational layer of your cardiovascular system.
So, what should this actually look like when you sit down to eat? Break your plate down like this. Notice how 40% of the bowl is just a massive bed of greens. And no, we aren't talking about one decorative piece of lettuce here. We mean a real hearty pile. Then add 20% beans and 20% intact grains. That final 20% gets divided between clean proteins, maybe a baked fillet of salmon or a tin of sardines for those vital omega-3s, and healthy fats, like walnuts and extra virgin olive oil. This is how you guarantee incredible flavor without accidentally building a saturated fat bomb that ruins all your hard work.
Let's move into Section 4, Beyond Calories, Why Biology Matters.
Here's a reality check. Your arteries honestly do not care about your calorie count. What they care about is chemistry. Specifically, they're worried about LDL particles invading the artery wall and triggering a hostile, inflamed environment. If your LDL stays high for years, you're just continuously delivering the raw building materials for plaque growth. And that right there is exactly why the cholesterol-trapping fiber in those beans and oats matters so much more than arbitrarily starving yourself or cutting calories.
The whole theme we're seeing is that this bowl creates a calmer, lower drama internal environment. The fiber and the healthy fats totally blunt those vicious blood sugar rise and crash cycles. It quietly lowers your blood pressure simply because you're swapping out processed, high-sodium junk for potassium-rich plants. And this is huge. If you're a senior taking cholesterol medications, like a statin, this way of eating is the best possible foundation for those drugs. You stop fighting your medication. You stop pouring fuel on the fire, allowing your prescriptions to finally do their job effectively.
But look, we absolutely have to manage our expectations. Your body runs on a biological timeline, not a marketing timeline. It's true that within just hours of eating this bowl, your vascular function begins to improve. And sure, within a few weeks your lab results can look better, but it takes months to genuinely lower overall risk factors, and it takes years to actually change plaque behavior. So we have to stop searching for instant results. That plaque took decades to build up. You've got to give your body repeated, consistent evidence to change its course.
Finally, Section 5, building your daily habit. Because your environment beats your willpower.
We talk about discipline like it's some magic superpower, but in the real world, environment beats discipline every single time. Think about it. If the healthy dinner takes 45 minutes to cook and the unhealthy junk takes 4 minutes, the junk wins. Every time. So set yourself up for success. Batch cook your lentils and barley for the week. Wash those greens in advance so they're ready to grab. Keep your pantry stocked with tins of sardines and your freezer loaded with salmon. Go ahead and whisk your olive oil and lemon dressing ahead of time. That way, when you're exhausted after a long day, you are just assembling your bowl in 4 minutes instead of starting from scratch. To actually put this into practice, Dr. O'Connor throws down a challenge, and it's super straightforward, the 14-day challenge. She's asking you to eat some version of this Artery Rescue Bowl just once a day for the next 2 weeks. Keep it simple. Just notice your energy levels after you eat. I bet you won't feel sluggish. Monitor your cravings, see how satisfied you feel, and track those blood pressure trends if you check them at home. If you stick with this daily, your body is going to start giving you some incredible positive feedback. It proves once and for all that heart-healthy food doesn't have to feel like a punishment. Because at the end of the day, your future lab results, they are built by the groceries you buy this week. They're built by the totally ordinary decisions you make in your kitchen. Your arteries are paying attention to what you do every single day, starting right now. So here is my question for you. What version of this Artery Rescue Bowl are you going to build in the next 48 hours? How are you going to give your cardiovascular system a better environment? Think about it, write out that grocery list, and take a real step toward a healthier heart today.